Okay, guys, hi, it's Juicy here. I have my um, little least amount of just cool stuff on so that we can kind of go over the posture again and then, get into those chakras. It's just going to be just going through, kind of recapping. So basically, if we start at the feet, which you can, that's really the foundation, that's where we should start from. So the thing is, you want to have your feet hip distance apart, so they need to be hip distance apart and straight forward. So you want to have your feet hip distance apart, straight forward, and then if you just kind of close your eyes, take a nice breath, feel yourself here in this world that we're spinning around in the middle of who the fuck knows where. Just kind of visualizing some roots once you get your feet hip distance apart. Now, this can feel weird. Obviously, when I do rolfing for my clients, it feels weird. Who are like, what the hell? Because they've been walking like this, like to turn it in, it kind of, you have to realign things. That's why everyone should get the 10 sessions of structural integration rolfing. But anyway, just visualizing these roots in the middle of both of your standing feet as you get them straight forward, and then they're deep into the core of the earth. So even if I'm like moving around like this, it comes right back down. So I basically, and if I'm sitting in a chair like some of us do, a lot of people are doing computer work, whatever. So let's say I'm sitting. So the roots are going to go from my sacrum, which is sacrum, the little square back there. It's got all these nerve plexus running through it, so it'll be kind of, your roots are kind of coming from there, but they still go through the legs, and so when you get up from the chair, but you'll understand because as we go through the body here, it's still going to keep, when I'm driving, that's a perfect example, driving. You have to, especially if you're going long distance or any time, but you have to have your roots in the coming out of the sacrum because obviously you're driving and you're sitting. So basically, once you get those roots hip distance apart, your feet straight forward, and then you grab your roots deep into the core of the earth, like rooted like a tree. I like to think of a willow tree. I like willow trees, but you can think of any tree. It's just the fact that you're rooted. Okay. So now, in this alignment, which is where your feet are supposed to be, then you are free. The energy is now free because this is the natural alignment that the body was made to be. Now we go to the knees. Now you got to understand, are your knees locked? Are you locked? Are you like a high heel syndrome? Or you see those people walking around? Are you either way is an anterior or posterior tilt. So you want to have your knees like slightly softened, like a Tai Chi kind of stance. And then your roots, of course, are still in place. So now that you have that, so you have a little spring in your knee step. And, and then you already have your roots. Feet are hip distance apart, forward. Roots are in place. The knees are slightly softened. Now the energy is free to travel all the way up and through the pelvis. So we can be free in the pelvis. So this is the freedom of that. And then we have that freedom, but we got to keep this on point all the time. This is why I'm always telling you guys to get these certain shoes that help. Anyway, now we want to go wherever you are. Let's say you're just right here. You're right here. You can only go here. You want to fall down into gravity, and then wherever you are, just fall down into gravity. So the head and the shoulders, they just drop into gravity. Wherever you are in your stretch, okay? So you're dropping into gravity right there. And then when you're coming up, you got your roots. So you're using, not from the spine to the head is where we never want to lift from, never want to do shit from. That's just like, it's busy. the craniosacral fluid running the brain and the nervous system. Busy, busy. Has no time to be dicking around with lifting shit. That's the core, the hamstrings, that job of that. So we use our energetic bodies, which is what we are, energy. When we leave the planet, this goes into decomposition or whatever happens to it. Or dust, somehow it goes into decomposition. So basically what we want to do is keep this energy clear in the way that it was supposed to be so that our chakras stay clear and we are aware of all of that. So basically wherever you're blocked is usually where you're blocked in your posture, which is in turn the energy body, which interpenetrates the physical, like air fills a sponge. So basically we are free now with the pelvis, and now we're just here, we're going to be hanging out. And when we come up, we got our roots, and we're coming up. And the one thing that never comes up is the shoulders. So the last thing, shoulders stay soft, is the head to the sky. So we've got roots and wings. And we want to, I hope you guys can see okay. I'm trying to position everything. But I promised I would get this out, and it's been a little bit. So basically, I want you just to know the posture. So we want to make sure that we are hip distance apart, the knees are not locked, they're slightly softened, so the energy is free to travel in the pelvis, and then you can do your rib cage. Get crazy. And then your shoulders, and your arms, and your neck, and we already have the juicy joints for that you can look at. So if all of this is intact and we're standing the way we're supposed to in our aligned bodies, then, hold on just a second. I think I gotta unlock this thing from my cat. Then we can start to understand. So the chakra, let me see if we can move this down. We already talked about there we go. We already talked about the spine and how we don't want to be dicking around with that. It's important shit. It's running so many things. Like, obviously we can't function without our brains. And so the spine doesn't ever need to be lifting. Even if you're bending over to pick up a piece of mail, you're going to use your roots and your ass and your hamstrings and your quads and your core, whatever, but nothing in the spine, which starts at the sacrum, that triangle I just showed you. So we're going to do that, and we're going to practice never lifting from our spine. That's how people keep throwing shit out, because we're not paying attention. But even when you're bending over to get something off the floor, you want to come up from your core, not from the lower back, which is what people are doing a lot, which because I have a lot of clients I've had to work over the years with that. So I know what I'm talking about. Now, the other thing now is, so that's the first chakra, back in that triangle area, up into the front, even part of the colon area. And, in the light body, when I meditate, I see like an overall energy of my light body. I don't necessarily have to resonate with the colors, although I do love the colors. They do help meditation and things like mantra meditation, things like that. Even I like to draw them in the colors. But for me, what I see mostly is blue. Sometimes I see the gold, but a lot of blue, ultraviolet blue light and white. It doesn't matter what it is that you see, as long as you're connecting with the fact that you have your spine straight, which is what the exercise is. So we bring this up. The shoulders never do shit. So when I'm lifting up like I just did from the side, I'm lifting from my lats. So that's where I'm lifting from. And that's where I lift from when I'm doing, any of my poses with the hands. So basically, anything that I'm doing. Seriously, even when I'm walking, doing my juicy joints, like right now. Okay, let's say my hands, and I'm doing my juicy joints, right? I'm gumming from my core. When I'm doing just my rib cage, coming from my core. I'm not doing it shit from my back. Nothing. So let's remember that. If I had a mantra to put over your forehead and your third eye somewhere, maybe it will stick. So no lifting from the spine for you. Then we want to remember that also comes with not just the physical, because let's see, what would happen if we did do that all the time? Well, first of all, you're going to have back problems. Probably feet problems because it's all connected to the base chakra, which the feet, the legs, and the back, the lower back, and some of the colon, the front. You're going to have problems. And the blockage from that is not only going to cause problems physically there, but maybe sticking the energy from coming up, and you could have problems all over the fucking place. So you want to be cool with your posture and awareness of how you're standing daily. And it starts with the feet, the foundation. What you stand on, how you meet this earth. And so we want to have that going. We want to have that going on. I'm coming on. I want the world to know I got roots and wings. And that's what it's about too, like really just being conscious of why we're doing this. Why is this happening? Why are we doing this? Why can't we just stand the way we fucking want to? Because it's not the natural alignment. And if you want to go on, and one of the best books to read is Ida Rolf, which I do Rolfing, Ida Rolf's book, Rolfing. Go and look that up, and you can read about it. It's, in fact, I have it here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. I have it here because I just had it out. It's been through a little bit. I keep threatening to get a new one, and I keep forgetting. So, Rolfing. That's right, Ida Rolf. Structure. And then, you can go through, it tells you, it goes through the 10 sessions I do for people, preventing surgery. It goes into the bones and why the structure is the way it is. So, the spine, important shit. So, if you doubt me in any way, you can research it somehow, but definitely I would always recommend it in this book. Reestablishing the natural alignment and structural integration of the human body for vitality and well-being. And it is miracles when you just are aware. Awareness preceding transformation. So then we go. So we have, and then on another level, it's about survival. This area of the base chakra, and most people it's in red. But one of the things that come with that is like a trot. It's like it can be family. Because that's where we start. A lot of the times it can be lack of family or family, whatever. But the point is, it's definitely, if you have a blockage as well, which most of the time it's probably because of the physical, but a lot of the times if you do the mind-body connection, it's also about, well, I'm worried about money, I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind, laid back. Sipping on gin and juice with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Well, you know what I'm talking about. It came up. I had to do it. But basically, it's like, okay, that's I'm worried about something. I'm stressing over money. Maybe I'm stressing over what I'm going to do about a new home. Or maybe I'm moving. Maybe I'm changing jobs. Maybe anything that has to do, there it is, has to do with the base chakra. Yeah, beautiful. Actually, I've done a couple of paintings of all of them. I will be working on a new one whenever I have the inspiration to do so. I have the inspiration, just not the room. Going on. So yes, so this is a lot about money, the material world. It's kind of what ties us to our legs and feet, what grounds us to the earth and to the material world. And in an etheric sense, we have to, where's my heart at? Where's my heart? Where'd my heart go? Oh, this is a nice one to kind of depict the, from the foundation. There's the, kind of the sacrum energy there. Like he's fucking grounded. Look at that mountain. And look at his lats. He's like, fuck yeah, I'm not fucking around with my spine. I love it. That's a great one. These two here, I love it. I love these. Yeah. I love this. This deck has a great picture of him, of the root chakra. That's great. And exactly how the shoulders are supposed to be let go. So many people are like this or like, no, the shoulders, whenever you're doing any exercise or anything in life, you need to make sure, are my shoulders holding on? Because they need to be letting go. Obviously, they need to be letting go. And of course, you're going to be using certain muscles when you're doing certain exercises. But the shoulder does not need to be holding anything up. It needs to be let go of. Okay, so there's that. And then we're going to go up to, we go up the sexual chakra, the sacral. It's orange in color, but it's like, it kind of takes place right below the belly button. So a lot of the reproductive organs, things that create, in a physical sense. And there's a lot of exercises, which I'm going to try to go over one if I have enough time before this is done. But it works with all of this, the cranial sacral and all of it. I'm sorry about that. I have a meeting that is not going on, but I forgot to turn it off. Anyway, so yeah, we have to just, remember that the mind, the body, the mind. So they always say the lower back is about money. Louise Hayes, that's another good one. She's got some great things to say about the mind-body connection, which makes, and I'm sure that she followed a lot of the chakra energy as well. So just knowing where your energy's stuck and seeing what you can do to use your core. Like in yoga, it's Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, which is bringing the belly button back towards the spine, practicing this breath, bringing it up to the higher brain. Anyway, that's a whole nother video. I have a lot of them on here, so you just have to look back. I'm just trying to find the heart, but right now we're at this one here. So the reproductive, this is about creative energy. Creative energy, baby. I'm so excited, and I just can't help it. I mean, it's one of those, like, it's creative and juicy, and we got to be careful though how we manage it, because it can also create things that we weren't ready to create, or yeah. So looking out for that, and some of the problems that we can have if this is out of whack is period problems, menstrual problems in that area, prostate, things like that for men. Just looking out for these things. So, and the kidney area, in the back of the chakra there, the kidney area can be affected with this chakra. The adrenal glands. Here's my heart, man. All right. What's up? There's my next one. Oh, here it is. I found them, guys. Anyway, I keep thinking of that song. I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to remember it in a minute. It's something to do with the heart. Anyway, it'll come in. So as we move up, so the solar plexus chakra is this one. Yellow, they call it yellow in color. And it is a little bit above the belly button, around the diaphragm area. So this whole area. So whatever organs, are in there, and how we're feeling about that. And also, let's not forget, if we don't keep our solar plexus strong, then our spine suffers, which is part of all of that too. Separate but part of it. So a lot of this is about willpower, and it's about your intuition and how we're using that and how we get on with that. And some of the things that can happen, obviously, are anything that's involving some of the upper colon, digestion, the diaphragm. What was I just going to say? I'm funny. The diaphragm, but anything in the stomach area, but also like maybe even like the liver, pancreas. All these organs are so closely intertwined, but just basically it's about willpower and intuition and strength of your own strength, in there, your core. Then we have the heart. Yeah, I like got a little bit of that. Two triangles, I love that. Anyway, the heart, obviously, we're coming up now. So what I'm doing, we call this the solar plexus and coming into the heart area. So we've got the heart, obviously. And if we go in the back, we've got some of the rib cage. So we're still dealing with a lot of the breath and also the lungs. So on a physical level. So when we're closing down, like let's say I'm at the computer all day and you should be, whatever you have to do all day that's constant, you should take 5 minutes at least of every hour and do the opposite of what you're doing all day, you know, holding on, making shit so the joints stay juicy and things stay juicy and we don't get a chronic stagnant situation going on, which the older you get, the harder it is to reverse. But we should start paying way big attention now, at the time that you're young. I mean, I do it. My nephew, he's now a soccer player. You know, I helped him through that. But also, just paying attention. When we're collapsing, we're going to have breathing problems because the energy's now going to be stuck, and I can't even get it up this higher to my throat, you know, it's just a bad situation. So we got to keep our head up to the sky with our wings, our shoulders soft. And our roots. Our roots, and remembering the shoulders soft, the knees soft, slightly soft, and our pelvis then comes into alignment. So I have a lot of videos on here. I'm just going over this again because I said I would. So moving on up to the throat now. The beautiful throat chakra. And also let me say something about the heart. Where am I not giving or receiving love? Where have I shut off my heart to love or bitterness to something, maybe a bad experience that happens to all of us? I don't know if I know anyone who hasn't had a shit show of something along the road somewhere or another, you know. So, I mean, like, getting to the point where you can not be, I don't know, not that we should, I'm not saying we shouldn't be feeling our emotions, but we can't stay stuck to where we can't have movement and groove going on. Okay, so the throat chakra. So we're going to be coming up now from here, and this is kind of in the thyroid area. Your voice, how you are heard, the communication, it can go into the lower back, the shoulders, you know, just depending on how it's shooting out. But basically, when we are not being heard communicating, when we're not voicing, or we're not singing, or we're not doing something with the throat to stimulate the chakra, I know I've done this, many of them. You can feel the energy vibrate throughout your whole being. My computer is doing some funky ass shit lately. I don't know what the hell's going on in heaven. But whatever it is, I love you guys. Bear with me, we're getting through these chakras. Yay! Okay, so anyway, when we're not really paying attention to how we can communicate clearly, and this can manifest in anything. It can still be the lungs. It can be a lot of different things. It can be musculature, and just something that's being shut off here. It can come up the drainage and the lymph, all of this. So paying attention to keeping that head high. You know what I mean? This is all going to be shutting shit down. It's not good for us. So that's a good thing. And how I communicate. How do I communicate? And how do I let myself be communicated to? So then we're coming up to the third eye, which is ultraviolet there. The third eye, baby. And let me see if you guys got it under there. That's a good one. I love the third eye. It's so pretty. And this is about, this is about being able to see past the neocortex. So going up to the higher brain. in frequency and seeing things. Like if anybody's ever done some ayahuasca, you know what I'm talking about. Or, some magic shrooms. But the point is, even sometimes some, marijuana can get you on that plane. But prayer and breath can do the same thing. I'm just telling you, when you open that eye, it's spirit. It goes to the midbrain up into the higher brain, which is where we are where we should be manifesting from. The neocortex is just the secondary consciousness, which we need to create time, space, and distance. We have to have 2 points of consciousness. But the higher one has always been the one that's supposed to rule until a lot of people got programmed or we just didn't give a shit. Who knows why. But if you want to stay high, keep your fucking spine straight, keep your shit together like I told you, and then your chakras, just practicing some things that will be shown, and always keeping your core and your everything, protecting your spine, which is all the way up to the crown from the triangle, okay? Now, if you don't do that too, a lot of things in this area, eyesight, there can be a lot of headaches of things and different things that manifest in that way. So if you do have those things, not only you can contact me for homeopathy, but also for some color therapy is always a good thing for that too. So everybody knows that if you want a personal reading or anything like that, you are free to contact me. Any body work if you live in the area, or just homeopathy of any kind, acutely or even chronic, or however it works. My website is thevisionexchange@gmail.com, which will be in the link below. Plus, I'm here. So we have that too. Now, we're getting up into that crown, baby. It's pretty, huh? Now, some people use this as white, some people as the color, but whatever. Again, the color is about how you feel, and how you see it in yourself when you're meditating, like how you see it. It's fine. But if you want to do mantras for each one, it's really nice too. So, however, I love the rainbow effect though of them. That's what I love. They're so pretty. But when we get up to the crown, we're up to the communication with spirit straight up. It's like, straight up, now tell me, do you want to talk to me right now? Oh, oh, oh. I don't know where that came from. Fucking 80s shit or something. What is it, 90s? I don't know. But anyway, that is where we really have that clear contact. And even when we have it, I've had it for years, and sometimes I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Still half the time I'm like, sometimes I'll cuss spirit. I'm like, fuck you, get your etheric ass down here and do what I'm doing. Skin and bone with this shit show in hell. It's plain as hell, And they just laugh at me, they think I'm funny. And that makes me madder sometimes, but I get it, It's like a little kid, that you're like, you're so cute. You're falling down, but you're trying to walk. And meanwhile, I'm from one of the stars, so I'm like, fuck you, Anyway, but I love them. They know that. So those are the chakras, and if you're not connected with this, well, basically you're blocking it, which means that any of the other symptoms you might be having because you're not connected to this. This is like the part where it's the healer. It's the part that you can manifest. It's Saint Germain, alchemy. It's straight up, right? So it's a lot of times we can get there in our dream state, but I do feel a lot of people are not sleeping well, and I do have that dream tea. I tell everybody go and try that out. It's really actually amazing. So there's that. Don't forget those juicy joints though too. So basically the first place the aging process starts is in the joints. So not only do you have to keep your spine straight and remember about your energy and chakras, but, sorry tiger, you got to keep your joints juicy. So you got to keep those joints juicy, and the knee joints, and I go through a whole thing, the shoulders, the rib cage, the neck. And a lot of people think turning the neck around is a good idea. It's not. So don't do that. And then there's a lot of other things that we can be doing that I would, as I get my own. I'm going to be moving soon, but I don't know exactly when and where. I could be going back to Belize, but I also could be going somewhere else. So I don't know. We'll see. And as things unfold, I have It is so hot in Arizona right now, I have to tell you. But anyways, those are kind of, I just want to go through a little bit of that again about the posture. It's really important that you keep your spine straight, and the way to do that is to support it from what? The core. The core. Keep your joints juicy. You don't want to get arthritic and shit, like just because you were too lazy to do 5 minutes of fucking juicy joints. Yeah. And so you do that, and you keep your shit together, your chakras juicy and aligned with your straightness of your posture, and the chakras go together. Period. There's just that we're talking the physical body and the energy body, which interpenetrate one another, and keeping the joints juicy. It comes with having a physical body and your spine straight. So keep it together. And I forgot, I was going to show you. So I will put a link of the core. I actually, Tiger, he's like looking at me like I'm fucking nuts. So basically, it's just doing plank for, I have to give it to you on the thing because I can't remember the exact minutes. But you really don't even have to follow the minutes. You can do it as long as you feel like you want to do it. But I believe it starts with 20 seconds, and it's a 30-day plank challenge. And then by the time at the end of it, you get, I forget the numbers because I just do it now. I just do it with everything. But I will find it. I have it somewhere, and I will put it, or I'll be able to tell you the next time I talk to y'all. Or you can just look it up. Look it up, Google it. The plank challenge. And it'll tell you, like, the first day you start with a certain amount, or you can do whatever ones you want. But make sure, no matter what, and that's keeping your spine, make sure that you're following the posture. And if this was too dark or not clear enough, I know I have more on this channel of the posture alignment. So thank you guys for listening. Blessings to you, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye. Namaste. My Thai people.